Hey guys, and welcome back to today's college basketball pick video. This is going to be for March 19th, 2017. Got four matchups I want to talk about and who I think are going to be the better bets against the spread. I'll throw the matchups that I'm going to be discussing down in the video description. Also, if you want, you can head on over to our main website, stumpthespread.com. I'll throw a link to Stump the Spread down in the video description as well. Had a great day yesterday over with our top confidence bets at our main site, going 5-1 against the spread on our tournament picks as West Virginia, Florida, Arizona, Purdue, and Wisconsin all came through against the spread, while Middle Tennessee State came up short to prevent us from having a perfect day. But having a lot of success over there at our main website, going 10-2 against the spread with our tournament picks over the past 2 days and hoping to finish out the weekend strong here. So if you want, again, you can go check out stumpthespread.com to get our daily free play over there as well as our top confidence picks. So heading into this video, got those four matchups I want to be talking about, and the first one is going to be Arkansas versus North Carolina. And just as another side note, if you want more of this pick video content in the future, you can click that subscribe button. Any thumbs up on the video are greatly appreciated. So heading up into this matchup, we have Arkansas, who in their first round game had a tough battle against Seton Hall, very back and forth and a streaky matchup. Arkansas was able to force some key turnovers in the final minute, and that was allowing them to separate a little bit, and also that intentional foul there at the end really sealed things up for Arkansas. And you have to credit them for making their free throws while also being able to force some key turnovers there down the stretch against Seton Hall. But one issue that Arkansas really had in that matchup was on the boards, as Seton Hall, to be fair, ranks as one of the better rebounding teams in the nation. But if Arkansas had a tough time stopping Seton Hall on the glass, then they're going to have even more trouble today as they go against North Carolina, who's the top rebounding team in the nation. And we feel like that's a advantage that the Tar Heels can really exploit. If they're able to get a rebounding margin of 10 or more, we feel like it's a pretty safe bet that North Carolina is going to be able to cover this one. This is a group that's been a lot more consistent, obviously, than Seton Hall this year, and also North Carolina has a much higher ceiling on the offensive side of the ball than Seton Hall, and we look for them to really dominate action in the paint, as well as get a lot of second chance buckets on those putbacks that they often get with those offensive rebounds. Arkansas has had a nice run up to this point, but also if you remember back to the SEC tournament, Arkansas coming up well short in their matchup against Kentucky, which is another top caliber sort of squad. So we aren't looking for Arkansas to be able to really compete with North Carolina so well down in the paint, and that's going to be a big difference maker here for the Tar Heels. Joel Berry's status right now listed as a question mark. It does look like he's going to be able to go. That's a situation you want to keep your eye on, but as long as Joel Berry is able to go, North Carolina has the advantage coming to this one, and we do like the Tar Heels giving the points as the better bet against the spread. Below that, we have a matchup here that's one of the more intriguing matches that we're looking forward to watching today as Michigan takes on Louisville. We see this spread shifting away from Michigan, which probably surprises a lot of people given how great Michigan has looked over the past few weeks. But I would say my opinion on why this is happening is because a lot of the big bettors and early gamblers who like to get an early edge on things are heavily siding with Louisville, and I tend to agree with those people, especially given the matchup advantages that Louisville is going to have coming into this one. I also do expect this spread to shift back down to where more of this thing opened up at as the public starts to bet on this. I do expect a lot of public money to go towards Michigan, but Louisville should have a significant edge down low, in terms of their height, athleticism, and depth. Louisville should be able to win the battle on the boards as well as scoring down in the paint. Michigan had one of their best offensive performances of the year in their last outing against Oklahoma State, but Oklahoma State isn't near the defensive threat that Louisville is. And also, this is a Michigan team, even though they have been playing really well as of late, throughout the entirety of the regular season, this is a team that was very hot and cold, and really their results came down to pretty much how they were shooting the three ball, and Michigan has been a bit more consistent in terms of converting from the three-point line during their winning streak, but if you just take the entirety of their regular season, definitely a team that wasn't extremely consistent in this particular aspect. Louisville, we like better than Michigan on both sides of the ball, even though Michigan has a very highly rated defense in terms of the points they give up per game. Part of that also has to do with the fact that Michigan plays at a much slower pace typically than Louisville. If the Cardinals are able to force a lot of turnovers, which they're very good at, then that's going to be another advantage going to them in this one. So also Louisville should have a great contingent there in the crowd supporting them. Michigan will probably have a decent crowd support as well, but probably not quite as much as Louisville in this particular matchup. So we are going to go ahead and side with the Louisville Cardinals, and we do expect this to probably finish more in the, I would really be surprised if this didn't finish in that 2 to 2.5 point range for Louisville, but right now giving about 3 to 3.5, we are still going to cautiously side with Louisville, coming to this one as the better bet against the spread. And moving on down here, a couple of matchups that are outside of the NCAA tournament, but different tournament games nonetheless. We have Oakland versus Richmond. In their first round matchup in the NIT, we took Oakland getting the significant amount of points on the road against Clemson, and that bet did not look good after the first half as Oakland was down by just a landslide of points. They could not get anything going on the offensive end, and their defense was also really struggling. They were down by about 20 points heading into the second half, and Oakland was able to flip the switch, and out of nowhere they were able to, on the road in a true ACC road environment, go on an extremely impressive run as they went on to take the lead. And it wasn't like right at the end of the game when Oakland was able to grab the lead. They started picking up 6, 7, 8 point lead, in the closing about 3 to 4 minutes to go. So Oakland was just on a tear there for about a 15-minute stretch against Clemson, and they were able to finish the job as they went on to get that upset win straight up against Clemson. That was a game that Oakland came into as about a double-digit underdog. Going on the road for their next NIT game should be a little more manageable going against Richmond. The Richmond Spiders did a lot better this year in the A-10 than I was expecting them to do, but still a team that's going to be getting their home court advantage in this one. In the NIT, you don't always necessarily get the greatest home crowd advantages, especially with a team coming out of the A-10 that's, not necessarily headlining any kind of situation here. We don't expect Richmond to have the greatest home atmosphere in this one, and Oakland's also shown that they can get the job done on the road this year. As like I said, in their previous matchup winning at Clemson, they also have a win against a team like Valparaiso on the road, so certainly a squad that can perform on the road. This one, Oakland getting about 4 to 4.5 points. We feel like this is closer to, maybe a pick-em. Maybe Oakland does deserve to be a slight underdog, but Oakland has a lot of high major talent that they've gotten to come to their program through transfers, and certainly a team that can match up with the kind of talent that Richmond has on the table. So we're going to go ahead and side with Oakland again today, getting those 4 to 4.5 points as the better bet against the spread. And just one more game that I want to touch on in today's video. It's a matchup here versus Texas Christian and Iowa. Two teams that came up just short of making the NCAA tournament. Also, both teams playing some decent ball there down the stretch. Iowa playing way better than I expected them to do this year. They only returned one starter from last year's team. That was their leading scorer, Juck, but outside of that, Iowa had developed a lot of new guys and have a lot of returners that didn't necessarily get tons of playing time last year step up, and we've seen the growth of this Iowa team throughout the regular season. It's been quite impressive, and this has been one of the higher scoring offensive teams in the Big Ten. They like to play fast. They do sacrifice their defense actually probably more than occasionally. They rank as one of the lesser defensive teams coming out of the Big Ten, but I do expect Iowa to have a decent home crowd advantage today. They have a very loyal fan base, and coming to this one against TCU, definitely a TCU program that's heading in the right direction right now under head coach Dixon. Texas Christian was able to get that really impressive win against Kansas there in the Big 12 tournament, but unfortunately for TCU, just unable to get wins on a consistent basis. TCU ranks much better, or they have a much higher ceiling on the defensive side of the ball than Iowa, but their offense doesn't quite stack up. They're going to definitely need to have their defensive effort come in and perform well today for them to have a shot at picking up this upset win. Iowa's very strong on their home court throughout Big Ten action, and we see that continuing today. So we're going to go ahead and side with the Big Ten here and take Iowa, giving the 2 points as the better bet against the spread. So that's going to wrap up the 4 games I wanted to touch on in today's video. Again, guys, I really recommend heading on over to our main website, stumpthespread.com. I'll link Stump the Spread in the video description. We've been red hot with our top confidence plays, going 10-2 against the spread on our 5-unit premium plays in college basketball with our tournament picks over Friday and Saturday. So hopefully we can keep things going to close out things in the college basketball year. Just got about maybe 2 or so weeks left in the college basketball tournament action, so really excited to close things out, and hopefully we do it on the right foot. And also, if you want more of this pick video content in the future, you can click that subscribe button. So thanks guys for stopping on in, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.